Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening, I'm glad you're here. Real quick, I want to thank the channel members. Thank you. And I want to take time to thank just anybody who comes in to check out the knife, the EDC content that I put out. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance yet, if you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon, it really does help me out. This is going to be a little bit different, like you've seen kind of theme in my videos as I'm trying to look at different things, right? So this is the Urban Supply Company F5.5. And this little series that I'm going to try to launch on Thursdays, depending on how it goes, is going to be called Throwback Thursday. And Throwback Thursday, I thought, would be dedicated to pulling a random, at one point or another, it was a grail in my collection, right? So, for example, a knife like this was one of the first 5 premium knives I purchased. I want to say it was $250, and at the time that I made that decision, it was well out of what I ever thought I'd spend on a knife. And it's one that I've had plenty of opportunities to sell, but it's a knife that I absolutely love. And I thought by doing a little Throwback Thursday deal for a couple of weeks to see how people like it, we could explore some knives that are really good knives. Some of them, like the F5.5, you can still grab and not much has changed. And others, might have seen their day and they're only going to be available on the secondary, but they won't be things that are impossible to get, right? So this is, again, the Urban Supply F5.5. OEM by Riot. I think it's a collaboration with Jesper Voxnaes. So it's got that Vox ergonomics, which I think is the strong point. That and the thick blade with the super tall flat grind makes it super slicey. This one's kind of a dirty because I've been using it today. Belt satin M390 blade. This knife has been made, I don't think the blade steel has changed much, but you've been able to get this knife in the Sagaha titanium, raw titanium, G10, different micarta. It's an Urban Supply Company exclusive, so you can only get it there, but they've offered it in a lot of different configurations. It's got a very sharp, nice, what I consider deployment hole. So it's a thumb deployment, slow roll, thumb flicker, reverse finger flicker, but it's got really good detent. Mine was one of the ones initially, this is the version, they don't make this version anymore, this micarta, but all of these were kind of traditionally light in detent. I say that because I tried other 5.5s that were a lot snappier. So I got in, took it apart when I swapped the bearings out, and used, where'd I put that little thing? My little counting com Norton's stick here, which is just a little plastic pry stick. It's good for getting off scales from liners, things like that. But I just basically took it between my lock bar. I didn't want to move it much and slid it up just a little way so that I was flexing that lock bar in. Left it overnight. Now it is very snappy. But right here on the pivot, you'll see the blade steel showing as M390. Really good lock up. You've got a titanium liner. You've got this really nice back spacer that incorporates some jimping. There's some jimping on the blade that's really nice, tight jimping. Holds your finger very well. And then you've got this palm jimping here, which also includes a lanyard hole. This knife comes apart and goes together very, very well. Like I said, I've done a skiff mod on it and the scale mod on it. And where it shines and where all knives should shine are, here comes Tippy, I apologize. Keep moving, sweetie. This guy is a cutter. And it's got thick enough blade stock where you don't have to worry about it just being a thin cutter, right? So it's the blade geometry, like we so often hear Jared and others refer to, that makes it such an efficient and effective cutter. And it's therapeutically slicey, guys. Came that way. I think it'd be hard to get it to be anything but that way, just because of, again, this tall, aggressive, flat grind. It's just great knife. What I wanted to do is a couple of size comparisons and then get you, whoops, apologize for that. All right, so let's take a look at Benchmade bug out. Knew it was going to be a little bit smaller than the bug out, and I knew it was going to be bigger by just a little bit than the baby bug out. But what I want you to draw your attention to is this forward finger choil. So I've got that whole area, and I'm going to get you a dimension from there to grip this knife. This knife's not designed to be gripped back here. So when you look at the grip area compared to the Benchmade, you'll notice that you do have, even though it's a smaller profile than a lot of knives, it's going to be pretty ergonomic. I know a lot of larger handed people that like this knife. There it is next to a Sharpie. And to take out the confusion, except I can't read a tape measure, so it'll be a little confusing. This knife's 7 inches long. These are all close enough for horseshoe and hand grenades number. Got a 2 3/4 inch blade, maybe just a hair more. It's got right over a 2.5, between 2.5 and 2 3/4 inch cutting area. That inside grip is 3 3/4 from right here to right here. That's 3 3/4. And the handle is going to be 4 inches. So roughly 3 inches make up the blade, the other 4 make up the handle. Absolutely drop shut action. The quality that you'd expect from Riot at what I considered at the time, and if I'm not mistaken, this knife hasn't gone up a lot. So I still think it's a good value. You've got your stop pin here, very simple construction, liner lock, your pivot, a couple of skiff bearings. Doesn't come with skiffs, but it doesn't need them either. I just put them in almost everything because I think it makes it more stable. You've got this stamped titanium deep carry clip that is not reversible, but, you know, can't win them all, right? And let's check what this guy is going to weigh in at. It's not a super light knife because it does have those titanium liners, full liners. Roughly 3.3 inches. And we had right under a 3-inch blade. So for a premium knife with thick blade stock like that, I'm going to have no problem with that. And speaking of thick blade stock, we did not even talk about how thick this knife or this blade stock was. So our F5.5 starts out at 0.1610 inches. And behind the edge here, we come down to, whoops, 0.0145. And the thickness of the grip is right under 1/2 inch at 0.4895. If you want to get it with that clip, 0.6780. So to me, very, very carryable, EDCable knife. When I first got this knife, it did not leave my pocket. The deep carry clip works very well. I carried it to work. It's short enough to where it doesn't take up a lot of real estate in your pocket. It's robust enough where it'll rip through cardboard, it'll rip through rope, it'll rip through really anything you need to rip through. I love the look. I love the ergonomics. It is a winner, and it was a formidable choice for my first Throwback Thursday video. Guys, leave me comments. Let me know. Lame idea, something to kind of roll with. Maybe do it every other week. Do it on Thursdays. Looking for content ideas. Getting writer's block or recorder's block. So let me know what you guys think. I've got a lot of these kind of hidden away, different type of knives that I could live off of because they're great knives. But guys, thank you for watching. If you're still here, please hit the subscribe button. It does help me out. But most importantly, look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.